Alright, let's take a look at maxillary anatomy. We start from frenum and vestibular. So for the maxilla, these are the buccal vestibule and these are the labial vestibule. Along with the vestibule, there are labial frenum and buccal frenum is located. And that's for the starting point. And for the maxilla, there's called the tuberosity. And aside from the tuberosity, there are area called zygomatic process. And these zygomatic process will determine how thick a distal buccal corner of acrylic will be, depends on this movement of this anatomical reference. The next anatomical reference is HAMULAR notch. So the area is called, I'm pointing the area for the HAMULAR notch, and it's called another name, pterygomandibular notch. It's between the tuberosity of maxilla and hamulus of medial pterygoid plate, and it's forming right behind tuberosity, and you could go around it, and this is the area. And next one is pterygomandibular raphe. That's right next to the hamular notch, and these are connecting pterygoid to the mandibular, look like a curtain shape. It's called pterygomandibular raphe, and it's right next to the hamular notch. And the next one is palatine FOVEA. So these indentations near the midline of palate formed by a coalescence of several mucus ducts. And there's a two indentation, you could find it right in the midline of the palate. It's called palatine FOVEA. Median palatine suture line of maxillary bones. And the next one is, you could see maxillary rugae area. Then incisive papilla. Underneath incisive foramen, through this foramen, nasopalatine nerve and blood vessels coming through. Maxillary fully edentulous anatomy. So we're gonna start with the frenum and vestibules, and so this is the position of the labial frenum for maxillary, and this is well taken. As you can see that the buccal frenum and labial vestibule and the buccal vestibule. So you could see very well by rotating it. You could see where is the frenum and the vestibule of maxilla. Then, of course, we're going to look at the tuberosity and zygomatic process. So this is again is area to determine how thick distal buccal corner of removable prosthesis acrylic thickness will be determined by this area. The next one is a hamular notch, and again you need to rotate it distal of tuberosity. So this is It's called HAMULAR notch, and it's between the tuberosity of the maxilla and hamulus of median pterygoid plate. Another name, maxillary notch. So this is the area right here. Then right next to hamular notch, this you can see the tiny little string right here. This area is called pterygomandibular raphe. So that is showing better on the side. Then palatine fovea. So you can see right here, this is area, the palatine fovea, and indentation near the midline of palate formed by a coalescence of several mucus ducts, and very important anatomical landmark. The next one is mid-palatine suture line. And after that, you can see there's rugae area right here, and this. And the last one is incisive papilla. Underneath incisive foramen, and through this foramen, nasopalatine nerve and blood vessels emerge right underneath area. Let's take a look at facial view of incisive papilla right here. Okay.